Cristiano Ronaldo is by far the richest footballer in the world. After Faik Bokia, with tons of cars, inheritance, and mansions, he is absolutely stacked with cash. But how much money does he actually have? In this video, we'll be finding out the exact amount, starting with his houses. In Cristiano Ronaldo's career, we've seen him live in some of the craziest mansions you could possibly imagine. His Madeira mansion, which we see splashed all over the news, and his Madrid villa, which he bought during his peak at Real Madrid. And after some deep digging on luxury real estate sites, it seems like his Madeira property is worth around $8 million, and his Madrid home was around $6 million. And that's just scratching the surface of CR7's property empire. But we're not even close to 1% of his total net worth yet. Because let's not forget his Turin villa, hidden in the hills, worth around $7 million, with a private gym and views of the Alps. Oh, and his Manchester countryside mansion, which cost him around $4 million, complete with massive gardens and a secret tunnel. And don't even get me started on his Saudi Arabian palace-like suite, which cost a jaw-dropping $300,000 a month just to rent. Meaning Ronaldo spent more in a single month than some players earn in an entire year. But here's where it gets wild. Ronaldo isn't just spending money. He's basically building an empire. His Lisbon Dream Mansion, still under construction, is rumored to cost over $20 million, making it the most expensive house in Portugal. Add all that up, and Ronaldo has over $45 million in real estate assets, which is already insane. But compared to his $500+ million net worth, it's literally a fraction. In other words, his houses are like pocket change to him. Proof that CR7 doesn't just score goals, he scores mansions. Which CR7 home would you live in? The ocean views of Madeira, the peace of Manchester, or the royal life in Saudi Arabia? Another massive collection of Cristiano Ronaldo's assets comes from his cars. And when I say cars, I don't mean a simple Mercedes or family SUV. I mean some of the rarest, most expensive hypercars ever created. Let's start with one of his crown jewels, the Bugatti La Voiture Noire. This car isn't just expensive, it's literally the most expensive car in the world, costing him around $18 million, and only one was ever made. This is not just a car, it's basically a moving spaceship. But that's not where it ends, because Ronaldo doesn't stop at just one Bugatti. No, he also owns a Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport Vitesse, worth around $2 million, and a Bugatti Chiron, worth another $3 million. That's 3 Bugattis, and each one could buy you a mansion, or 10. On top of that, CR7 has a Rolls-Royce collection fit for royalty, including a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, worth $500,000, and a Rolls-Royce Phantom that costs nearly the same. But when Ronaldo wants to look casual, he pulls out his Lamborghini Aventador, which costs $600,000, because nothing says casual than an Italian V12 roaring through the streets. And if that's not enough, he's also been spotted in multiple Ferraris, like the Ferrari 599 GTO, the Ferrari 599 GTB Fiorano, and even a Ferrari F430, each one worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Oh, and let's not forget his Aston Martin DB9, his McLaren Senna, his Porsche 911 Turbo S, his Bentley Continental GT, and his Mercedes AMG G-Wagon. At this point, he doesn't have a garage, he has an entire dealership. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. Ronaldo is rumored to have over 20 supercars in his personal collection, and together, they're worth over $40 million. And unlike most collectors who buy a car and keep it in the garage, Ronaldo actually drives these beasts. In fact, he's been seen pulling up to training in different cars every week. Bugatti one day, Ferrari the next, Rolls-Royce after that. This explains why he's called CR7, not just for his shirt number, but because he literally owns cars X7 of everything. Ronaldo upgrades constantly. Every time a new hypercar comes out, he's on the list of first buyers. If you do the math, with Ronaldo's career spanning 2 decades and his obsession with exotic cars, the total value of his cars, if he kept every single one he ever bought, could easily exceed $100 million. That's not a garage, that's an empire of horsepower, luxury, and pure flex. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't just collect cars, he collects history on wheels.
But neither his cars nor his houses can compare to the wealth Cristiano Ronaldo has built from his businesses. We've already talked about his football salaries and endorsement deals, but what is the actual value of CR7 the businessman? Well, since Ronaldo doesn't just play football, he's basically turned himself into a corporation, let's break it down. First up, we have his personal brand, CR7, which covers clothing, underwear, fragrances, hotels, and even gyms. According to reports, just the CR7 brand alone is worth hundreds of millions. And honestly, that doesn't even surprise me anymore, because we all know Ronaldo doesn't do anything small. But shockingly, this isn't his only business venture. In partnership with Pestana Hotel Group, Ronaldo owns multiple luxury CR7 hotels across Lisbon, Madeira, Madrid, Marrakesh, and even New York. Each of these hotels brings in millions every year, and that's just his hotels. Because Ronaldo also has a stake in Inspiria, a hair transplant clinic chain, which itself is worth over $100 million and expanding rapidly across Europe. Hairlines are being saved, and Ronaldo's getting richer at the same time. But let's not forget his endorsement empire. Ronaldo has been the face of Nike since 2003, and in 2016, he signed a lifetime deal, yes, with a B. So technically, even if Ronaldo stopped playing football, stopped posting on Instagram, and just disappeared to one of his mansions, Nike would still be paying him stacks for the rest of his life. Add to that his sponsorship deals with Herbalife, Clear Shampoo, Binance, Armani, and literally dozens more, and you realize Ronaldo doesn't just make money, he owns industries. Starting off with debt. To afford such massive purchases like Bugattis, mansions, hotels, and even private jets, it would make sense financially for Cristiano Ronaldo to take out some loans, right? Well, not exactly, because here's the thing. Ronaldo has never actually needed a loan in his entire career. Between his weekly football wages, sponsorships, and Instagram money, he basically makes more in a month than most people will in 5 lifetimes. So the idea of him being in debt to a bank is basically impossible. If anything, banks are in debt to him, since every time he posts a picture holding a product, the company's stock price skyrockets. So, okay, let's say somehow Ronaldo did take out a loan for, let's say, his $20 million Lisbon mansion. Do you really think any bank manager on earth would dare tell him, "Sorry, sir, your credit score is too low"? No, they'd probably pay him interest just for blessing their bank with his presence, meaning Ronaldo can't actually be in debt to anyone. Another liability we could look at is taxes, but Ronaldo and tax evasion go together like football and grass. In 2017, he was accused of owing millions in unpaid taxes, and instead of panicking, he walked into court looking like he was going to win a Ballon d'Or. He paid a fine, smiled for the cameras, and then went right back to buying Bugattis. His main strategy seems to be, if you owe the government millions, just make hundreds of millions more. Problem solved. This is probably why his officially reported net worth, around $400 to $500 million, is actually way lower than his true wealth. Because let's be real, when you add up his cars, houses, hotels, businesses, lifetime Nike deal, Instagram empire, and salaries, it's clear that his real net worth isn't in the millions. So how much is Cristiano Ronaldo really worth after we tally up everything? Well, if you count his brand empire, his sponsorships, and the fact that he basically owns social media, the grand total would be a mind-blowing $800 million. To put this into perspective, that's more than the GDP of some small countries, meaning Cristiano Ronaldo isn't just a footballer, he's basically his own nation.